So INDYCAR are introducing the long-awaited hybrid engines this year, but instead of tackling it logically and having them ready for the start of the season, the engines are set to be introduced after the Indy 500. On one hand, this is excellent news. For me, it's exciting to see hybrid technology in INDYCAR. Only a decade behind the advancements in Formula 1, but we got here eventually. On the other hand, the ramifications that a mid-season change could have on the championship might be catastrophic, and completely ruin championship hopes for the teams and drivers who fail to adapt to the changes. That's what we're going to be discussing here in this video. So sit down, relax, grab a nice hot mug of coffee, or a cold one, it doesn't matter, because today we're going to discuss why INDYCAR's bizarre mid-season regulation change could make or break the championship. Hybrid technology was set to appear in INDYCAR in 2022, but continued to get pushed back due to issues in production. The engines are finally set to be implemented this year, but despite the original plan of implementing the engines from the offset, they have now been pushed back further, being introduced mid-season, post-Indy 500. This has left a few drivers scratching their heads, since the regulation change could affect teams in different ways, depending on how they each adapt the new package. Colton Herta is one of the drivers who expressed concern regarding the mid-season change, stating that it could be a season killer for sure. If your car is great with or without it, you go into the later half of the year whenever it gets introduced, and your season can be flipped. Despite this, Herta does have a positive outlook regarding how Honda has implemented the hybrid system, describing their progress as tremendous, ahead of more tests prior to St. Pete. The American believes that the difference in performance between teams, once the engines are implemented, will ebb and flow race on race, believing that every team will make their car better day by day as the engineers figure out the most efficient way to implement their new packages. Will Power agrees with Herta, stating that there is no question that it's going to be a factor in the championship. Power is excited for this, however, believing that it will make the championship more interesting. The driver of the number 12 Penske is highly complimentary of Chevrolet's implementation of the system, stating that the power difference in acceleration is substantial. He also believes, however, that we could see a larger performance gap between Chevrolet and Honda, depending on which engine utilizes the system more efficiently. The weight of the cars will also increase once the engines are implemented, which will affect how the cars handle. Dallara are doing everything possible to reduce the weight of the chassis, so that the cars don't handle like a 2010 Toyota Hilux. This will, however, mean that the cars will be more nimble than ever at the start of the season, throwing in another factor that the drivers will need to adapt to. One of the standout issues is when INDYCAR plan on rolling out the changes. There aren't many large gaps in the calendar after the Indy 500, with consecutive races until fortnight gaps between Road America, Laguna Seca, and Mid-Ohio. Following that, there are 4 races over 3 consecutive weekends, making it tough to squeeze in time to put the changes into effect, but I suppose we'll just have to wait and see what INDYCAR decide to do. I'm finding myself in two minds. I think the implementation of the hybrid engines mid-season will be an exciting change. However, I can understand the concern that it might be a season killer for those who can't adapt as quickly as others. But I suppose that's racing. The best drivers aren't just the quickest, but also the best at adapting to new scenarios. Anyway, what do you guys think about the mid-season changes? Are you excited or concerned that it might completely change the dynamic of the standings? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. But until then, take care, and thank you for watching.